What if I told you that the way you have been setting goals has been completely wrong? Street poet and philosopher Aubrey Graham once said, "A goal is just a dream with a deadline." What's up, guys? My name is David. Have you been following along? Then you know that in this channel, I've been on a weekly grind, processing and documenting my journey and the process of an entrepreneur, artist, producer, and record label owner. And if you guys like the content, let me know and subscribe and be part of the family. Yo, what is it? Right now I look like, "'Cause tonight will be the night that I will fight for you." Goals. Who needs them? Am I right? Let me know down in the comment if this is you. Let's say you get really inspired. You want to turn over a new leaf, or you set out to want to accomplish something. So you set out a goal. The first couple of days you are just blazing through, you are motivated, you are sticking to it, and then little by little that excitement starts to fade. Is that you? There's 3 important elements and factors that contribute and are truly essential for you to be successful at completing your goals. I would venture to say that these are the missing variables in your equation from the person you are now to the person you want to be. But before I tell you about these 3 things, you have to be able to classify your goals into short-term goals, mid-term goals, and long-term goals. Short-term goals are anything that you set out to make from, I would consider these are my terms, but basically anything that you set out to do from maybe this week to up to a month. Anything after a month and a half, maybe I start pushing it into the next category. But the importance of short-term goals, this is where you get to see the needle moving a little bit. And one of the perks of doing these small goals is that once you finish them and you complete them, you get this sense of a small win, of a small victory, of, hey, like, I'm being productive. Hey, let me keep accomplishing, let me keep executing. That's why it's important to set small term goals or short-term goals. Mid-term goals, I would consider maybe being in like 2 to 3 months, all the way to like a year. That's what I would consider a midterm goal, to where you have enough time to where it's not a daily grind or something that you do on the daily, but it is something that it's going to challenge you and it's going to develop. So like maybe reading a book. Now, if you can read a book in a day, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to maybe those who want to read a book in a month, or they're trying to like excel their reading and stuff like that. Yeah, like if you're trying to lose weight or anything like that, or like if you're trying to develop a new skill, a new habit, or trying to learn new things, that's where a midterm goal would go. Midterm goals are important because these are basically these are going to help you propel into what are the long terms, which I'm going to explain later. But yeah, make sure you guys are setting also midterm goals. Long-term goals, I would consider that you measure in decades. So things that 10 years from now you want to accomplish, or that you're working up to, that are going to take 10 years, that you can't cut any shortcuts, that you can't basically like cut around and try to like accelerate the process. And the 10-year ones, the long-term ones, require more out of you. They require you for you to become something else, something that as of right now you don't have the capacity, you don't have the bandwidth to do it. So the long-term ones also help to build your character. They help to build you in the process. So long-term ones are important because they get to bring and expose things out of you that you don't have, so that long-term you can work and get those, and so that you can become the person that you ultimately need to be, and the person that God has called you to be. Headspace and environment. See, these 2 things are very critical in completing your goals, because they can determine whether you complete it or not. Because if you're in an environment where you get distracted easily, or you have people that are around you that don't believe in what you're doing, it can very much stop you from completing those goals, or it can distract you, or it can misdirect or anything, because if you have people that are not focus driven, or they don't have these ambitions like you do, or they like to go out and party, or they like to go out and eat a lot, or they like to spend money, it's most likely that you're gonna go out and do those things. So what's around you is also important. And the headspace is, you got to make sure that you're feeding yourself affirmations of, hey, I could do this. Hey, I will get this done. I am gonna do everything that I need to do to be able to complete my goal, or be able to complete my task, which is very, very critical, very, very important. So Headspace and environment are absolutely critical to starting to set goals right and actually set goals that you're actually going to implement and do in the future. The second thing is education and execution. So what I mean by this is that you need to educate yourself on whatever that you want to like set a goal on. So if it's you want to get a master's, or if you want to write a novel, if you want to write a movie, or if you want to write a song, like educate yourself so that you know that you are not wasting time, or educate yourself so you know maybe you don't have the tools at the time, or maybe you are waiting on certain tools, but if you educate yourself, you'll find out that, oh, you don't need all that. And execution is, hey, like, do it. Now that you have the knowledge, now you have the research, do it. The time will never be perfect. The conditions will never be perfect. The stars are not going to perfectly align and give you the perfect sign. You just have to do it. Maybe you can do it with less resources, and the more you start, or the earlier you start, the more you'll start to learn in the process. And I think the common mistake that people make is that they don't start a business, they don't start their dreams, they don't follow on their passions because they think that their dream or their goal or this thing that they're trying to set, this ethereal thing, is too far away, and it's just too out of reach. So educating yourself and executing, basically, I think I've mentioned this in a video before. In other words, is all you have is all you need. Educate yourself and execute on whatever you can do right now, immediately, to start your journey. The third one is time frame, and this one, you have to basically set a deadline for the goal. You can't just have this preconceived notion of like, well, I want to do this, and just let it be a hope, or just let it be a wish, just let it be a dream. If you settle a time frame and make something realistic, and the way you set off the time frame, or the way you choose a time frame, it comes from educating yourself. So knowing if you need to study for something, how long do you need to study? If you need to write a book, how long does it take to write a book? Or set myself to write a certain amount per day. Or if I'm gonna build a long-term company, what do I need to be accomplishing so that I am on track, that in 10 years, I need to be where I need to be at 10 years. And also in the time frame, this is where I would include mistakes. So let's say you set up a time frame, a deadline, and you don't reach it. This is where you have to give yourself some grace and give yourself some peace of like, hey, you didn't reach it, but try it again, and give yourself, okay, maybe you need a little more time. Give yourself 6 months to accomplish something, and then work up from there and keep going from there. But time frame is important because you don't want to spend 10 years doing something that you can do in 1 year. You don't want to spend 3 months doing something that you could do in 2 years, and you don't want to do something in 2 weeks that you have to do in 3 years. It's educating yourself so you don't have this microwavable, like, reduced experience, but so that you can get something really good and something that you can build long term and long lasting. But yeah, guys, make sure to subscribe. Yeah, bro, my hair's all wild and I need to get a haircut. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed it, let me know down in the comments. If you guys have any short-term goals, mid-term goals, or long-term goals, please let me know down in the comments. And if you guys want me to keep developing these ideas, let me know. Like, I would love to further these ideas, and I might in the future. So yeah, or let me know what you guys want me to talk about. And with that, yep.